Sup everyone, welcome to another video, and actually this will be the last video I post before I have to go away. I know I'm leaving tomorrow. And what do you want me to say? I didn't choose this, right? This is just assigned to me. Life comes first. Gotta get that bag IRL, okay? If I don't work, how am I gonna spend money on HoYoVerse games, right? They cost an arm and a leg. So anyways, today's video is going to be about Honkai Star Rail. Don't worry, there'll be more Genshin videos planned for the coming days, but expect fewer video uploads as I will be away. However, let's just focus on this for now, okay? This character. Now, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce her name because there's been, I think, 6-7 different ones I've heard people say Seele, I've heard people say Seele, I've heard Seele, and get this, there's even one crazy one called Seele. I don't know where the R came from. Like I said, people have been calling her like all sorts of different names. I think Seele or Seele makes sense, even though there's no accent on the E, but I'm just gonna call her Seele, okay? I'm gonna call her Seele or Seele. Probably one of those two. I'm still bouncing in between. But today we're going to be talking about Seele and Jing Yuan. I think there's a lot of people right now who are on the fence about these two. There's a ton of discussion going on which one is going to be better just overall. And this video is going to involve some HoYoVerse mental gymnastics here, because as somebody who has played Genshin Impact since launch, I have started to see patterns, right? Patterns of how HoYoVerse likes to operate. There really is no real wrong answer. I know you guys don't want to hear this. You guys probably get extremely ticked, like, oh, like, then why even watch the video? But don't worry, by the end I'm going to give you definitive answers as to which one you probably should go for. And get this, it's going to depend on your account, so I'm going to try to cater this to everybody who's watching and hopefully give you a clear answer overall which one you should go for. Okay, good. Now let's start with Seele. Now I got the banner on screen, and this is really where we're gonna start, right? You're not just pulling for the 5 stars. Now when it comes to HoYoVerse games, especially Honkai Star Rail, resources might be more scarce than you would even find in Genshin Impact, even though they share the same summoning system, being hard pity at 90, soft pity starting 75. Now I'm just gonna say straight out of the gate, usually the banner with the weaker 4 stars has the better 5 star. Okay, that's just how they balance it. Now it shouldn't take a genius to be like, oh wait, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because you want to even out the values of the banner. Right now, the biggest value when it comes to Seele is her quantum element, paired with being the best single DPS, like bar none, right? She's insanely good, and with her mechanic to reset, you can technically say she's like a AoE as well. And we'll talk about Jing Yuan's kind of single target, even though he's an AoE later. But the fact is, Seele can deal with multiple enemies even though she is a single, so that is a unique ability with it, even though there is other options in this category, but she just does it the best. She's superb at this, and you're gonna have a blast. But remember, I said focus on her element. The quantum element is still quite scarce in the game, especially at the beginning, right? So having elemental advantages against the enemies that you're going to fight is, like, I cannot stress the importance. Abusing weakness in this game, it's part of something you have to do. It's not like, oh, I cannot do it and just brute force with like pure skill. There is no skill. You click buttons. It's all in the sequencing, it's all in taking advantage of the elements. Right now she does have her signature light cones, which it's a whole nother discussion, because right now light cones, if you're new to this game, is like their weapons. If you play Genshin, if you play other games, usually the limited character comes out and they have a weapon, or they have some sort of additional thing that is exclusive to them, although some games are much more lenient in that than others. But Seele, even as a standalone character without her light cones, is an absolute monster, right? And because of her exclusivity in the element, that is why she, in my opinion, in terms of meta overall, should be more sought after. Sure, she has cool attack animation sequence. She's a waifu character. I suppose Jing Yuan is a husbando character, but really you should be focusing on the fact that a quantum damage dealer is incredibly valuable at this stage of the game. Now, talking about the 4 stars, with that said, now you guys should understand why Jing Yuan's banner has more overall value. Now, this is where I would really urge the people who want to go far in the game, have better versatility in the game, just overall have a stronger account. For example, if you pulled Seele and all the 4 stars, and then you pull Jing Yuan and all the 4 stars, I would say you're winning with the Jing Yuan, even though I would, like, again, in my opinion, and also other beta testers, Seele probably feels like a stronger character overall comparative to Jing Yuan. But you cannot evaluate a game like Honkai Star Rail with just one character. You're building a team, right? You need buffers, you need healers, you need debuffers, right? You can't just have one character and be like, oh, this is the end all be all. Sure, you might be able to get through the early stages just fine, but once you get to end game, you're gonna start to struggle if you haven't constructed a team around your Seele. Now, don't worry, we're gonna be making videos here about team construction. We're gonna be talking about the specific relic grinding and stuff, pairing and all that stuff for free to plays for whales and stuff like that. But just understand right now, this isn't a game, if you're coming from other gacha games or you're entering this kind of game for this isn't the type of game that's easily brute forceable unless you're dropping a large amount of money. Now, of course, we're talking about end game stuff. Not everybody cares about that. If you're just here thinking about waifus and stuff, yes, Seele overall is the better character. So if you cannot hold back your urges from launch, and when HoYoVerse is dangling all these shiny tickets in your face, go for Seele, right? Just go for her, get her. You're not gonna lose out, trust me. And if you get lucky, you get her early, even better. Spend the rest on Jing Yuan's banner. So that's where we're at right now. Seele, insane character, but let's talk about Jing Yuan, okay? Jing Yuan, what can I say to kind of get the point across properly? In terms of pure meta players that I've interviewed, get this, right? 7 out of 10 meta players, kind of like a dentist toothpaste commercial, 7 out of 10 would recommend Jing Yuan. And the main reason is Jing Yuan covers a wider range of content in their opinion, and his insane AoE buffed up by the 4 stars even on his banner has like incredible synergies, and he's really good at just clearing things incredibly fast. So if you're farming and if you're grinding away at stuff, he gets the job done really quickly. Now, of course, Seele isn't that far behind, but get this, even in terms of single target DPS, Jing Yuan is not that far behind the pack. In fact, right now he's currently, I believe, ranked the 4th best single DPS in the game. And on top of that, he has like 3 really insane 4 stars, right? She got the best 4-star DPS in the game and an insane 4-star support that is basically like tailor-made for him. And like, okay, this is how insane it is. Even if you're pulling Seele right now as your limited 5-star, you might want to drop a couple summons on Jing Yuan's banner just to hunt for some of the 4 stars. That's, you see, right, that's my point. How lucky do you think you're gonna get? If you think you can get Seele, right, and then dump a couple more summons on Jing Yuan's banner just to hunt for the 4 stars, then that's also a really good way to approach the game right now, right? It doesn't just have to be, oh, the 5 stars, right? I mean, who knows? If you get lucky, 10, 20 summons on Jing Yuan, you already got Seele sitting comfortably, and then you go pull for 4 stars, you might get a Jing Yuan. Somebody watching is gonna get it. I know they're gonna get it, and they're gonna share it all in Discord. You're gonna sit there and feel like, ah, damn it, maybe I should just do 1 more, 5 more, 10 more. But that's how HoYoVerse gets you, right? And also understand, here's a psychological bit that HoYoVerse always does. They'll put a very luring banner in the first half, and especially when the game just launched, right? People have been saving their like last 3 months of salary just to go hard on Seele and C6 her, and that's what HoYoVerse is banking on, right? They're gonna be like, okay, people are gonna, you know, dump their load in game, of course, on our first banner with such a strong character, right? And like I said, she's not bad, so it's not like people are impulsively doing it. It's justified in many ways, but the rational one of us should be looking at true value across both banners and make a more sound decision, especially if you're like a low spender, you're just buying the monthly pass and not even the battle pass, right? Resources are going to be even more scarce, trust me. Like, you're gonna find a point in this game where progression slows down significantly, and during that moment you would want the stuff in your account to really last. And now finally, before we go any further, for those of you who are getting into HoYoVerse games for the first time and are worried about power creeping, longevity. Worse, which one of these characters is going to last me longer? Now, right, I'm no prophet, and when it comes to Horrorverse games, all I can refer to is Genshin Impact. And what we've realized in Genshin very quickly is that Horrorverse really doesn't like to power creep their characters. They won't do it unless a character is so broken to the point where they've released multiple balance patches. Well, I say balance patches, it really is just they're tuning the end game content to favor other characters. And if that doesn't work for like 2, 3, 4 patches in a row, yes, they will power creep a character in the sense that they will change the end game to completely counter a certain type of playstyle. That's how they usually would do it. So for example, a character like Seele, how would you completely destroy her is if all enemies somehow gain like this BS shield mechanic, which reduces the first hit that they receive by like, I don't know, an insane amount, and you need some sort of BS mechanic to deal with it. And then like even when she takes a second turn and tries to execute the next enemy, they gain the shield back. For example, if one of them dies, the rest of them get the shield back again. So even if you clear all the shield, she kills one, try to kill the next one, bam, the first one dies, the shield comes back, and oh, she's stuck. For example, I'm not saying, it's not like I live at Horrorverse headquarters here, I'm just saying that could be something they do just to counter Seele. Now, this is not to be a fearmonger or something like that, to maybe get you to pull Jing Yuan. All I'm saying is they could do the very same thing to Jing Yuan as well if the characters become unmanageable. But I think both Seele and Jing Yuan are very manageable characters. They're going to stay very consistent and good. Now the thing is, a lot of people would prefer Seele. I think right now Seele has the majority vote in terms of hype and excitement. It's also because that people are saving for Kafka. So the thing with Jing Yuan is he's a lightning DPS, right? Lightning AoE DPS, whereas Seele is a quantum single target DPS. So in terms of replaceability, a lot of people would think that Jing Yuan is far more replaceable in terms of elemental availability, and they would be absolutely right. So at the end of the day, really, if you are looking to be a meta player and do the best thing possible for your account, value wise, I think Jing Yuan's banner overall value has just a better deal. But if you are like somebody who just wants to have fun, just wants to jump in, get a strong team together, right, Seele is your go-to girl as well. I don't think Jing Yuan is worth the wait if you're just going to be playing this game on and off, right? Maybe a couple months, half a year, and then you're going to dip, maybe even earlier than that. Or if you find yourself not as interested and you just want to get in and have some fun, right? Go for Seele's banner, try the game out, and I wish you guys the best of luck. Truly, I think both of these characters are amazing. Personally, I may want to wait until Jing Yuan, but I don't know how long I can hold off, baby. I don't know. And yeah, we're making videos about Honkai Star Rail, talking about standard banner characters. There's been some changes since the beta. So much stuff to talk about, and yeah, maybe even a tier list, but that's gonna be it. Subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, urge you to stay safe, peace, and